Alright, today we're going to caulk. I just have a little spot left on this one. We've trained multiple times already. So the way I do it is I kind of gauge. I use my fingers. I don't use spatulas, metal, silicone, whatever everybody uses, but everybody uses a little bit different. So on this setup, the frame's actually protruding out this way. So there's I'd say 3/16 of an inch. So I'm going to tape tight to this edge on this one. And then I kind of gauge to where my finger, or if you're using a spatula, whatever, you want your finger to overlap the tape so you don't get a feathering effect when you pull the tape off. And I try to keep it straight, so say this, it gets tighter at the bottom, so your caulk line doesn't go back and forth. I try to keep it consistent, because I know my finger is already going to overlap to that point. If you go too tight, when you pull the tape, there's going to be caulk still over the tape. Make sure the tape is tight. If you're doing this on like a brand new prepped storefront, a lot of times they wipe it down with oil. The tape doesn't like to stick, so sometimes you're gonna have to clean the storefront first. Like this here is a pretty big gap, so I'll probably make more than one pass on it up here. Make sure it sticks to the surface. Starting to narrow up a little bit. I'll just back it out and make sure you have plenty in there. I always use one paper towel, and I just wet my finger. Make sure you try to keep it consistent. I'm trying to follow this edge because I know that edge sticks out, and make sure my finger splits that tape line. And then every time you pull it off, make sure your finger's clean, because it will get on everything. So I just use one paper towel. Just throw it to the side when I'm done. Grab another one, make sure everything's clean. If you see spots where when you push it in, it kind of feathers off, you can always go back, add more. Once you pull that tape, it's really hard to add to it. I'll just make a note, come back a day later when it's dry. Make sure that tape line is cut. Then when you go to pull the tape, this one will be real easy. It's not going to feather at all because it's on the edge. It's a real sharp edge. Just try to stick it together, get it out of the way. I always, if there's rocks or grass nearby, I throw it in the rocks. So it's not on the concrete, it will stay in the concrete. And this one is the one you got to be real careful with. You always want to peel it away from your caulk. Kind of hard to see in here, but see if you can see it. see where the shim was kind of sticking out. I probably could have cleaned that up a little bit better. But if you see it at this point right here, there's nothing you can do till it's dry. You can kind of cut it back out, and like right here, I see there's a tiny pinhole. I don't know if it goes through or not. Maybe able to just kind of touch that and fill it in just a little bit. You just want to make sure that you don't spread it and mess your tape lines up and all your stuff. And then this is kind of overlap the existing caulk just a little bit.